want to show you how to make a very simple dessert sauce, and today I'm going to use strawberries, but you could use any of the fruit you have coming out of your garden, raspberries or blackberries. So I'm going to start by just taking the hull off of the strawberries, and it's a pretty easy thing to do. What I always avoid, and I try to teach people not to do, is to cut the whole top off of the strawberry, because in that way you're really wasting a bunch of fruit. So what I would rather do is just to actually cut the hull itself right out with a paring knife. So once I have that removed, I'll simply cut it into quarters and put it right into a pot that I'm going to cook it in. And I already have some strawberries in here, and all I really am going to do is turn it on over a low flame, and then I'm going to add some sugar. And I say some because I really mean some. It's just to taste. So we're going to put a little bit of sugar in here, and we're going to let it cook until it cooks down and becomes a little more liquidy. You could also add a little bit of lemon juice or lemon zest to this. You could add any flavors you wanted to. You know, fruit juices, mango juice, anything like that would work just fine. So all I'm going to do now is just take a little handheld potato masher and just finish smashing the berries. Just a little here. And from here, it's just going to basically turn into a sauce. Now I'll smash it until it looks like hot jelly, basically. And then I'll put it through a strainer. And I'm going to put it through a nice fine mesh strainer. And all I'm really doing there is just trying to get the seeds out of it. That's especially important if you're doing something like raspberries that have tons and tons of seeds in them. It just makes for a nicer mouthfeel if you don't have to crunch on all those little tiny seeds. So all I'll do is just put another pot here in its place and take my nice strainer and pour the pulp right over the strainer. Now this conical type strainer, or a chinois, is really nice. It works in conjunction with a ladle, so you can really mash through all of that pulp. So once I have all this, our sauce is pretty much halfway home. At this point, all we would have to do is thicken it if you wanted it to be a little thicker. Now I'm going to thicken it just a little bit with some cornstarch and water, a mixture called slurry. There's a couple of important things to know about slurry. One is that it does not mix into hot liquids very well at all. Everyone has gone through that Thanksgiving turkey where they've tried to put some cornstarch in to a hot liquid, and it ended up in a bunch of lumps that you can't get out. So what you need to do in order not to do that is just to mix it into cold liquid. So I'll just mix it in with a little bit of water, and I'll add a little bit of this slurry at a time to my liquid until it's as thick as I want it. Now the other thing to think about with cornstarch is that it doesn't thicken until the liquid you're trying to thicken comes back to a boil. So what I'll do is just put a little bit of this paste into my mixture, stir it up, and turn up the heat so that it comes to a boil. Now, strawberry sauce, raspberry sauce, any kind of sauces like this have so many uses. You could actually take this and chill it, fold cream into it, and you'd have strawberry mousse. You could put it over ice cream as a simple dressing for ice cream sauce. My daughter loves it on pancakes in the morning. So there's lots of different uses for it. And as you can see, it's really thickening up and bubbling really, really nicely. Now, one last thing to think about when you're making a sauce or any hot liquid like this is that once it cools down, it's going to thicken quite a bit. So you really don't want to make it as thick as you want it when it's hot. So there we have it. You can just cool this off, put it directly into a squirt bottle and squirt it over your favorite dessert. It makes a really nice addition to strawberry shortcake. Instead of just the berries and cream, you can put a little sauce on the plate. And it's just something to do with your extra berries you have laying around.